All right, welcome in, everybody. ATB show. How's it going? It's Scotty Dukes here in what Timmy calls beautiful downtown Maine, even though you could tell it's not downtown. It's just a bunch of freaking trees. And of course, Billy Rubber Shoes Corey in downtown Lowell as well. It is the ATB show. You are very lucky to have just the two of us today. And a beautiful, finally got some sun and it actually didn't rain at all today, at least not where I am, Billy. I'm not sure about where you are on a beautiful Thursday. So welcome on in.
Yeah, we've so I was just in Virginia Beach for 4 days and I
Ooh,
brought the weather back with
you
me
you really
because this
did,
is
man.
how it
Thank you,
was. Yeah, this is how
thank
it
you.
was down there for the 4 days we were down there.
That's magic. That's magic. I
Yes.
love that. I love that. I know you had Billy did send, and we're not going to share with the public, but a couple of shirts off, guns out pictures. So it was all PG-13. Nothing
Yeah.
too scantily.
It was above the nipples.
Exactly. All above the nipples. Welcome in again to the ATB show, brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, where I'll turn it over to Billy to give the spiel about our buddies over at AAA Work Trucks.
Yes, brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
Says that to himself before bed every night. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. All right. So we'll kick off things. A couple of late breaking Patriot news. We'll start there with a couple of signings, well, extensions, I guess, is what you'd call them. Pats just extended yesterday Devontae Parker for 3 years, $33 million. Very incentive based in regards to performance as well. So he's going to have to earn a lot of this money. I think it was 11 million guaranteed, but a lot of it's the rest of it's almost all like you got to make plays kind of a thing. And then today they just signed Jawan Bentley. I want to say it was a 2-year, $18 million contract with $9 million guarantee. It's either 2 or 3 years. I have to look at that number up again. But with Bentley, who's a beast, had 125 tackles last year, played in all 17 games, one of the leaders on the defense or on the team, especially. So I love both signings. Still gives us plenty of cap room to sign Hopkins.
Yeah,
I
so
think it's
I
great.
have on the I know the Parker extension was actually they actually redid this year, which gave them an extra 4 million cap space for this year. Did the Bentley one also give them more cap space?
It did. I think it was like another 2.5.
All right, yeah.
Yep.
So maybe they are making room for one D Hop.
Yeah. And then obviously the rumor too has been not just D Hop, but also Dalvin Cook. There's been a lot of talk about him
Yeah,
potentially pairing up with Hopkins coming here, um, which would be a huge upgrade from, Pierre Strong and some of the other younger backs. Obviously, Ty Montgomery coming back from an injury, that would upgrade the running back room by quite a bit, even though him and Ramondre are similar backs. But the wear and tear on running backs in the NFL, as we've all seen, it's a big deal and it's for real. And so I think this, if they were able to bring him in on a decent contract or kind of a prove it type of contract, would be a huge windfall for the Pats for sure. The other thing is too about Hopkins. It's funny. It's like the Hopkins watch. It's not as bad as like remember the Brett Favre watch. Like
yeah,
when he was doing like coming back, it was like a daily thing, and the NFL Network had like helicopters like outside his house or like what I mean on his
yeah.
ranch in Mississippi or whatever. Um, Hopkins is already come out and said he's not going to sign with anybody until like mid to late July. So when training camps open, so he's gonna wait. So even though it's like on a daily, like you check ESPN whenever like the notification comes up, I'm like, oh, is it Hopkins? So we still got a few weeks to wait. I think on that at least.
Yeah, I think I I'd be shocked if he signs before camp starts because
Yeah,
he doesn't want to practice. I think that's one of the things he wants to take it easy and he's I think the contracts he's looking for like veterans days off during the week also, so like he doesn't have to start practicing until like Wednesday every week. He gets every Tuesday off no matter what, which I mean I could see older player and I could see a team wanting to do that anyway to get the most out of him. But I feel he's waiting to see if one of the big players like a Buffalo, a Kansas City, if one of their receivers gets hurt, the first couple weeks of camp, that he would rather sign with a contender that he knows is going to be in play. But
Ooh,
if
that's
the
hurtful.
Patriots,
Hurtful.
if the Patriots get, Hopkins with Parker, Gesicki, Juju, the problem is Kendrick Bourne's probably the odd man out. They
Yeah.
might release him
Yeah.
at that point. But the only thing that I'm worried about with the Patriots is their offensive line.
Yeah.
Like you'll have a bunch of weapons for Mac Jones, if they add Dalvin Cook too, he can catch out of the backfield. They'd have plenty of weapons, but will they be able to protect them? That'll be the question.
And that's the thing. Like their front five really, they only played like 2 games fully healthy last year, right? Where, because Cole Strange missed 1 or 2 games. Andrews obviously missed time at the center position. Mike, I can never pronounce his name, Mike Onowiu, whatever, from Michigan, the other guard, the right guard.
Yeah.
He missed some time, but and right now, to me, Trent Brown, I love him. He's a big dude, but has become a shell of himself. When he was here and when he came in 2018, he was one of the best left tackles. That season, he was one of the best left tackles in football.
Yeah.
And he has not looked like that because he left after that year and then he came back and has just not looked the same. And that's a big concern. I agree that the offensive line really needs to play much, much better and hopefully just stay healthy, for this upcoming season.
Yeah, and Trent Brown wasn't available for OTAs because he didn't come in. He didn't pass the workout in shape thing. But I mean, not to say that's happened to other players in the past, but where you have an older guy and a lineman, that could be a little tough.
Can you hear that, by the way, overhead? Can you hear the plane?
No,
there's literally like a huge freaking plane just flew like over like my house.
Like you right just now, said that, and a helicopter just went by out.
There you go.
Out my window.
You bring the weather. Apparently, I bring the airlines.
So down in Virginia Beach, so I was stationed there when I was in the Navy. There's the naval base for all the ships is down there, and then there's also an air station down there, naval air station. So when you're on the beach, all of a sudden there's like 2 jet fighters like coming over to go to the base. They one day we were there, they must have been doing like practices, like touch and goes, because it was like 2 jets would fly over, you wouldn't hear anything, and then they would loop around and do it again, and they were doing it for like, I don't know, 4 hours one day. Awesome. We were out there.
That's awesome. We have the Pease Air Force Base right down the street here, and same thing. We'll when they do the air show and stuff, you'll see that, like the touch and goes and stuff for just practicing, getting ready for like that weekend. It's awesome to watch, man.
So one day when I was up in that area for AAA work trucks when I'm on the road, because there's multiple Air Force One planes out there. So they had one that was up there just doing touch and goes, like practicing, like if they had to abort land, they're on the way to land, and then last second they have to abort and take off again. They were just doing those all day long one day when I was up in that area. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what else is amazing is that we only have about 10 minutes left or my Zoom's going to shut off on me. This is amazing. This has been hilarious because I think we only have like an hour unless I upgrade to Pro.
Yeah.
I don't have Pro. So I got to see if I can either buy more time right now. This is real time. This is good stuff. This is well,
if it didn't take me half an hour to get all my stuff together to figure it out.
Be like the shortest show in history. God. I don't know if I can upgrade right now. So moving off from the Patriots, because obviously we got plenty of time to talk about them, hopping over to the Boston Red Sox. It's funny. I was looking at some stats because I always complain about it every show that I'm on that I can't freaking watch the games. The Red Sox was last I looked, and this was last night or 2 nights ago, were 4th in all of baseball in runs scored, but 4th in all of baseball in runs allowed.
Oh,
which is the most insane stat to me. And like it's their pitching has just not come together.
Why they're hovering around 500.
Yeah, because they could score.
Yep.
I mean, they're hitting the ball for sure. You know what I mean? They're scoring, but they're they just cannot pitch. And it
Yeah.
was funny, like the exact number on both sides. I was like, that's wild. Like runs scored
Yeah.
and runs allowed. It's
And
ridiculous.
I think that's it. It, they're a 500 team.
Yeah.
It's basically, two steps forward, two steps back. They go on a 3 game to 5 game winning streak, and then they lose 4 in a row. Right now, I think they're 5 or 6 in a row right now they've lost. And that's all. It's just been uh, winning and losing streaks this whole year. It's crazy.
It's nuts. It really is. It's nuts. It's like, yeah, I don't even know. It's funny because I'm also trying like multitask and see if I could buy pro right
Yeah, yeah,
now. It's funny because you think about going into the year, you looked at their rotation and you're like, well, if this guy works out like Kluber, or if this person, if Sale comes back and he's healthy, there's so many ifs that we talked about before the season even started.
yeah,
And a lot of those ifs are if nots. You know what I mean? They're
yeah.
just not working out at all. But
Yeah,
they're
the
hitting.
only bright spot has been Bayo, and I mean their end of the pitching. The Chris Martin and Kensley Jansen have been good. Winkowski's been good for the most part. He's when he's bad, he's really bad, but for the most part, he's been pretty good. But it's just a matter of getting it to those 3 guys at the end of the Cutter Crawford. He got he was supposed to be a middle reliever. He got thrown in as a starter. Now he's only good for like 3 innings. They try to push him, 4 or 5, and then he gives up too many runs. They were banking on Kluber and Sale and Paxton. Three older pitchers, and 2 of them coming off injuries, and 2 of them going back on the IL. The 2 that came off the injured list. So it kind of, I'm at this point, I'm looking for them to blow it up. Just, I definitely want them to get rid of the high and bloom. I don't want to see Cora lose his job, but I think if it's an all or nothing thing, because a new GM comes in, they're going to want their own manager, most
Which
likely. So
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So, as anybody that's coming in wants to put their own imprint, right?
yeah,
And Bloom, he did that, not successfully, but he's done that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like in some regard. But upgraded, by the way, we're all set. We're good.
Okay,
We can
okay,
chat forever. It was,
yeah,
I'll build Timmy later. So I'm just kidding.
yeah, okay. Well, that's what I forgot to get my refreshment before I started. I was.
Oh, I know. You're still on vacation mode, or are you back?
Yeah, I'm off. I'm working at the fire station Saturday night. That's the so if we don't take like full weeks off during the summer, we get a 24-hour bonus vacation time at the end of the summer. So I didn't realize it started this week, because usually it's like the 1st of July it starts, but because July 1st is this Saturday, this work week.
Yeah.
So I'm going in Saturday night just so I can get qualified for the 24 extra hours at the end of the summer.
That's awesome. Yeah, good for you, man.
But
That's smart.
but I have to work Monday. We're open on Monday, so I got to go in for the one day and then get the 4th off, which we're going to the Red Sox game, weather
Nice.
permitting. Supposed
Right.
to be back to the crap. We're getting 3 days of nice weather and then back to the chance
Back
of
to
rain
rain.
every day again.
I know it's nuts. I know I'm
Awful.
playing golf. I'm off next week. Took the week off, and I'm playing golf with my father-in-law and a couple of his buddies. So, me and three older gentlemen, and it's just, which is, look, it's a great time. I love playing with. I don't know if you golf with like old guys. They're hilarious, and old man golf is something I'm going to strive for at some point in my life, because they don't hit it long, but it's freaking straight. It's straight and it's like consistent, and it's, yeah, God bless them.
And they usually score better than you, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
insane.
It's so and I talk to this about with people all the time. What gets in most men's way is their ego.
Mhm.
If we just left that stupid driver in the bag, we would probably shave off 10 strokes in a round just by
See,
leaving that bag in the club. I
yeah,
mean the club in the bag.
I'm hitting the driver well. It's actually like my woods that are killing me. So there'll be times where I'm gonna hit my, like getting off the tee with a wood or an iron at times drives me nuts, but I'm hitting my driver right now really well, which I'm saying that now. So Wednesday I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play like, play like crap, but
Oh,
looking forward to
so
that. So
have you been able to do a Top Golf yet? I don't know if
yes.
you tried
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I did that
Yeah.
down in Virginia Beach.
I
I
did
was
one in
able to do one.
Atlanta, like
Oh,
a couple years ago. Yeah, dude,
yeah.
they're a lot of fun,
That's
huh?
that's so I just did I wanted to try it out. My wife and son aren't big into, driving ranges or anything. So we did like a half hour, and it was great. I'm looking forward to the one opening in Canton. They're calling it Top Golf Boston, but it's actually going to be in Canton, a little south of Boston.
I was gonna say I don't
But
even know where that is.
that'll be a good do you know where Braintree is?
Yep,
So it's in that area.
gotcha. Okay.
So that would be a good ATB meeting place at one of these one
Yes,
time.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm in for that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
and it was we stopped somewhere and ate and then went there. I didn't realize, like, I wasn't thinking
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, they do everything right here. And
Hmm.
so I kind of felt bad. The waitress comes over and like, yeah, I'll just have a Coke.
Yeah. Right.
Coke Zero, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. You're
No,
kind
place
of
is
coming over
awesome.
here for no.
Yeah, if people haven't been to
Yeah.
one, they have all these different
Oh,
games. They're different levels, and you're able to hit into, during the games. There's like all these. It's a huge area, open area, then surrounded by a big screen, and you hit into like different spots, throughout the field or on the driving range area during the games that you play and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just like
I
straight
had,
up, it's not just straight up like driving range. They
right.
make it interactive.
Oh,
It's so
yep.
so cool.
I insulted my wife by saying, "Oh, I can't wait to go back and play with people that like to play golf."
Oh Jesus.
but I mean, I know she doesn't like golf at all. She doesn't like swinging a golf club, and she did it for me. So I'm thankful that they
Yeah.
both went and I was able to try it, because we went down there like 7-8 years ago, and it was there then, but we didn't get a chance to get over to it. So I'm
Mm. At
grateful
least
that I was able to get over and try it.
But at least Steph will at least do that for you. Amy, we're going out. We're some friends over at Tor, which is a indoor golf place. So we rented
Yep.
the executive room. There's a like a close group of us. There's 6 of us. There's like us and 2 other couples, and we rented out the executive room just to mess around. And she's like, I'm not gonna swing. And I'm like, babe, like we're gonna be there. Like, I know you're gonna have some cocktainis and stuff and have a good time, but come on, just swing some. No, no, she won't do it.
Oh, all right.
And I'm like,
All
come
right. So,
on. Like you could, yeah. So at least Steph gets up there and she, at least she
yep.
whacks some golf balls. But
So another thing she is not fond of is bowling. And
really,
oh yeah, she doesn't like bowling. And I used to be in a league and stuff, so
oh
I
geez,
really liked
not
it.
shocked by this at all.
And so if we go like Candlepin, she literally gets the ball through, because you don't have to, the gate doesn't come down in between. She gets up, throws one, turns around, grabs another, throws it, grabs another, throws it, and then walks away. So the first one could have a strike, but the other 2 balls are already on their way down there.
Jesus, that's pretty funny,
She would do that with 10 pin too if it wasn't for the gate coming down.
right? Man, it's
But
funny.
she'll
Like,
do it. She does it for me. One year, I can't remember if it was anniversary or Valentine's Day or something, and we went down to Patriots Place to the Kingpin down there, and
mhm.
she did it with me, and so she'll at least humor me and do it. I know she doesn't like it at all, but she'll at least try.
It's funny. When I went around, like travel a bit around the country and stuff, people didn't know what Candlepin was. It's
Oh,
such a
I
New
know.
England, it's such an East Coast thing, and
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, like you get the small ball fits in the, you know what I mean? And they're like,
Nope.
that's not bowling. I'm like, yes, it
Yeah.
fucking is, man. Like this is bowling. Like that's at least bowling when I grew up, because we have
Oh
Dover
yeah.
Bowl here and all that stuff, and then like the Bola Rama or whatever in Portsmouth and stuff like that too. So we're surrounded by like different places to
Yep.
go bowling. So we go quite a bit just to mess around. The boys love it, the kids love it and stuff. They have a good
Yep.
time.
Yep.
So they have a really good time with it. But um, that's amazing now, Virginia Beach, though. It's my buddy lives in Norfolk, so right
Oh,
near
okay.
where you
Yep.
are. Yeah, my buddy Chris
Yep.
Turnick, who's avid listener to the show as well.
So
And
is what's he? Because that's where I was stationed in Norfolk, but
okay,
when I got married to Steph and she moved down there, we lived in Virginia Beach, so it's like a 20 minutes, half hour, depending on traffic to Norfolk. But that's where I was stationed in Norfolk. But so out of my 4 years down there, I think 2.5 I lived in Virginia Beach.
gotcha.
Which was great.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice down there. I went and visited him. It was right before a year before COVID, so 2019, something like that.
Yeah.
Went down there and we drove up to Washington and saw the Pats play the Redskins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is, by the way, don't ever go to Washington to watch a game because that stadium is just god awful.
Was that the stadium in Landover, Maryland that you went to, or
it's not RFK. It might be, yeah, it might be Landover. I have to look it up again, but it's just god awful. It was honestly, it took about a little longer than what it does for me to get to Foxborough. So it takes me about 2 hours or so to get to Foxborough. And to get up there was a little over 3 or something like that. So it was a bit of a drive, but it was, the stadium was freaking horrible, but it was nice down there, like where he lived. It was where Norfolk's nice. I was like, oh, we went and saw a Old Dominion game. I think it was Old Dominion. I think it was Old Dominion or something like that. There's like the college is right around the corner from where he lives, and so
ODU's right there.
Yeah. So we went and saw that. We saw a football game there, and we had a blast. He's been seeing the Riptides quite a bit, the AAA baseball team.
Yeah.
And
so the Riptides. So are they? I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that Norfolk?
So they used to be the Tidewater Tides, and when I was stationed down there, and they were a Mets affiliate, but I think they're an Orioles affiliate now.
They are. Yes. Yep. They are. Which he hates because he's a huge Red Sox fan, obviously. So he goes down there, and he went to all 6 of the Woo Sox games when Worcester went down there for the AAA stuff. He went to all 6 of those and was giving us like play-by-play on Bobby Dahlback and how he was doing and stuff. It was pretty funny. But all I can think of is like I always think of when it comes to July and stuff too, and summertime, and the fact that we actually have some freaking sun right now, and it finally feels a little bit like summer, is like going to like AAA games, going to minor league baseball games, especially for me at least, because with Manchester and Portland being as close, if not closer than Fenway. I mean, they're all pretty much the same. But going there and like watching fireworks and stuff like that during like 4th of July and stuff. Do you guys have like a tradition or anything? I know you're going to Fenway this 4th, but do you guys have anything in the Corey household?
Our tradition used to be we would have a cookout every 4th of July, but I think last year I worked, so it all depends on my fire station schedule too. So some years I'm actually working on it. So usually I'm the cook. So if I'm not there, we don't have it.
Yep.
So
you must have, got to have an apron, right? Do you got the apron? You got like the barbecue apron that goes around?
I do, but I've never worn it for out on the grill. I use it for in the house for grease splatter. It's actually a Star Wars one.
Yes.
May the fork be with you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. I have one I use quite a bit, actually. I'll definitely use it when I grill. I always put it on. It's got it's got a whole bunch of pockets and stuff. It's got like a beer koozie pocket, like right in the front, like in all this stuff, and like little opener and stuff. And all it's fantastic. I love that thing. If you look, it's like dad code. You have to have one of those if you're hosting a barbecue. You got to rock that thing, man.
I had, so a few years I did, so they do a parade in Chelmsford, and before the parade, there's a road race, which is, it's named after a kid that I actually was in middle school with. He died his freshman year running cross. Well, he was practicing doing a run for cross country, and he got killed, hit by a train.
Oh, Jesus.
So they've had that race. It's got to be getting close to 30 years that they've been doing it. They do because they have it all blocked off for the parade already. So they run the race before the parade, and it's amazing. It's only a 2 mile race, but it's probably the closest feeling you can get to running the Boston Marathon, because it's lined with people the whole
No
lane,
way. That's
and they're
awesome.
cheering for you. So I've done it. I've done it a couple times with Timmy. I've done it
No
a
way.
couple other times with family. Yeah. So when
That's
Timmy
awesome.
was running the Boston Marathons
Yep.
back a few years ago, he would do this race also. We did it a few times together. So,
That's
and
awesome.
it's crazy. It's like you getting cheered, like you feel like you're running the Boston Marathon. It's awesome.
That's fantastic, man. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't really have traditions or anything too much around here. We're big sparkler people. With like we'll do sparklers and stuff like on the deck,
Yeah.
and always do s'mores. I got a little fire pit right here. It's actually on the deck. It's propane based because I'm lame. But we do that, and we'll always do s'mores and just kind of chill out. You know what I mean, and just and do our thing. It's always pretty you know down to earth and mellow. We'll go to when I was a kid, we'd travel all sorts of different places to go and see fireworks. The last couple of years, my brother is an electrician based in Wells, Maine, which is right on the water, right on the coast. And so
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll hop over, and he knows a good friend of his that has a house right next, like right on the beach. So we'll park there and we'll walk down, and you can see the fireworks show from the Agunquit town fireworks and the
Yep.
Wells.
Yep.
And so we go down
Oh
there,
wow.
you sit on the beach, and it's just like, the ocean's right there. It's a beautiful scene, and it's a lot of fun. We've been doing that the last couple of years. So I guess that's kind of coming into the tradition, I would say,
Yeah.
for these last few years.
We used to. So Lowell has fireworks
Oh,
usually,
okay.
and we used to be able to walk to the bottom of our street and watch them. But so there's a uh, humane society down here, and the PETA people
No way. They killed it?
complained that
No.
the fireworks were too close to the humane, and they were scaring all the dogs, so they had to move it
Oh my
down
God.
further down the river. So now we can't see them from where we used to see it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
So
I
yeah.
know I have a dog who's actually just sitting right over there. And she's a sweetheart, but really dumb, like just so stupid. And the not worried about like fireworks, does not care, like thunder, none of that stuff doesn't bother her whatsoever. And so like for us, it's never really been like a big thing. So we'll shoot out like fireworks. Obviously you can tell from behind. Which one am I leaning here? There we go. Lot of space, so
Yeah.
we'll do stuff here at the house. And I've had some buddies come over, and we'll shoot fireworks off in the backyard and stuff like that too. So
Are they legal in Maine or in your town? I don't know if
yeah, yep.
like Massachusetts, they're illegal.
No, they are. We literally will say on our Facebook town page, hey, I'm shooting fireworks off around 10 o'clock, just letting you know, or 9 o'clock
Yeah.
or whatever it is, just let people know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and give a heads up of like the proximity of where you are. Not you obviously don't give anyone your address, but just hey, this is the
Yeah.
area. And sometimes you'll get the Karens of the world that'll come out and complain, but otherwise it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. So it's a lot of fun. Are you a big, like I do this every year for sure, are you a big Nathan's hot dog contest person? Like, do you watch that every year? Because I freaking do.
I try to, yeah. Sometimes I forget about it, but
Yeah. Well, it's
so
early. It's
actually
like at like 10 or 11
it's
o'clock in the morning. It's very
yeah.
early.
So hopefully I'll be able to watch it before I go to the Red Sox. Yeah, I like what I got hooked when Kobayashi was there, and then now Joey Chestnut. I don't think anyone's gonna beat him.
No, dude, he just wins every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time. I like it when the biggest,
Amazing.
like there's a couple of big guys that like these monster men come up, and they like these huge guys. And I remember my son, my oldest Logan, was like, we were like placing side bets, like who's gonna win, whatever. And Logan's like, that guy. And I saw Joey Chestnut. I'm like, no, it's going to be him. He's like, Dad, look, he's like, in shape,
Yeah.
and like, there's no way. And I'm like, just trust me. And obviously Chestnut won, but he always
Yeah.
picks like the biggest guy he could possibly pick. It's pretty funny. But
Yeah, there was I don't know if you had ever seen it. They on MTV probably like 20 years ago now. They had like a documentary on Kobayashi and like his training regimen of what he did. Like the
I
guy
have
is
not
in
seen that.
phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
And like before an eating contest, he would start to like stretch his stomach out. He would
Right.
go to
Sorry.
like a local restaurant and eat like 2 pounds of noodles.
What?
Yeah, like that's 2 pounds pre-cooked. And it was just the bowl was huge, and then the guy like put like this, made it extra spicy on him too, so he was like sweating, but he ate it all, and he's like, oh yeah, about I don't know, it's like about 3-4 weeks before an eating competition, he would start stretching out his stomach.
That's
Just
insane.
crazy.
Like, how can you like? It's just in like the health, man. Like, I don't understand. And like, they are
Yeah,
in great shape. Like, it's like Chestnut too. He's like, he's pretty cut, pretty ripped and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how you do
yeah,
that. There's another guy, Randy Santel, I think his name is, that I've seen him like, but he eats like, he doesn't eat like the competitions. He just gets like the food challenges and stuff, which
yeah,
just
yeah,
fascinates me that they have like, you have 45 minutes to eat whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
10 pounds of hamburger or, something ridiculous. It's nuts. These guys are insane. But yeah, it's always like 4th of July, it's hot dogs, it's fireworks, Americana at its best. You know what I mean? It's always been like that. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to having the week off and just kind of enjoying it. And, I'd love to say watch some Red Sox baseball, but, unfortunately, not so much. Not so much.
Well, my fate, one of my things I enjoy the most during the summer is sitting out by the pool and just having the Red Sox on in the background on
On the
the radio.
radio.
Well,
Yep.
used to be radio, now it's your smart speaker or whatever.
Right.
But
Right.
just having that on in the background, and even I they could be 20 games out of first place, and I'm I'm still sitting there like they're right in it.
Oh yeah.
Every game is
Yeah.
like they still have a chance, but hey, you never know. They've had the Morgan Miracle year where they won like 20 something in a row and got right back in it. So that anything can happen,
Right.
as
Well,
Kevin Garnett said.
yeah,
Anything is
exactly.
possible.
I actually just saw a hilarious, I guess it was like a meme or whatever. It was a video of, they did a comparison. They ran off. It was like Kevin Garnett, the interview with Lisa Salters right after they won. And he's like, I'm so hyped right now. And then yells the anything possible. And then they cut over to Jokic and like, hey, you just won the championship. How do you feel? Good. I feel good. It's very
Yeah.
good. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. But and I totally lost my train of thought on this. I am excited though for July also means not just training camp, but also NBA Summer League, which I know you probably don't care that much about.
No,
But
so my dad, God rest his soul, he thought he was a general manager of every team. So he was more into the prospects than the
okay.
It's like he would watch these players in summer league and AAA, AA, and watch them kind of, and then once they finally made the big team, he didn't care about them anymore. Like that was, so the last guy he had a big thing for was Rafael Devers.
Oh, really?
So I remember I went to Manchester to see them play the Paw Sox back then,
mm-hmm.
right? That's AAA Monarchs.
Yep.
So we went down
it was
there. That
Fisher
was like
Cats, Manchester Fisher Cats.
Fisher Cats. Yep.
Yep.
So the Monarchs was their hockey team in Manchester.
Yep.
So we went. That's probably the last baseball game I went to go see with him was there, and it was to see Rafael Devers, and so Devers has a special place in my heart.
I was gonna say, yeah, right. He nailed that one for sure, dude. And he's having a monster year, man. He's playing so well this year. Like I said, their offense is spectacular. They really are one of the best hitting teams and scoring runs, especially in baseball. It just, the other thing is too, I wonder, and I know we're just bouncing all over the place, but who gives a shit? It's like with the Red Sox, if they were healthy, like, if Story was here, if there's so many what ifs with the team, but because right now, they don't really have like an everyday shortstop right now, right? Because
right.
Rough Snyder, whatever his name is there, he's
Well,
also banged up.
it's Davidson is another guy. So they had Pablo Reyes that was playing shortstop
Right.
because Kike was horrible, and then
Yep.
Reyes just went on the IL, and now they have the kid Davidson that's playing. Yeah, so you figure they're down to their fourth string shortstop right
Right.
now.
It's insane. It really is.
Yeah.
And, if Story can come back and play, obviously that would be huge. I did see some article, and I didn't get a chance to really dive into it, that and Xander isn't really having too much fun out in San Diego. Apparently is missing Boston a little bit. And I know because he came off like gangbusters, man. He had a torrid start to the season and ripped things to start, I think, like April and stuff. He was slashing and it's kind of fallen off a little bit. But yeah, it's nuts to, it's another thing too, is to think of what will the team look like next year, and I don't want to look past the season because there's still a ton of baseball left. You feel like they've been playing already for 6 months, but there's still, 3 months of baseball left essentially. And, what it's going to look like next year. I don't think it'll be the same team. I think it'll be at least not from the pitching staff perspective.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they're doing for the trade deadline, if they're sellers or buyers. I listen to a lot of sports talk radio. They were talking about what certain categories that the Red Sox are good in right now as far as their stats, and they said that they compare to the Phillies of last year, and the Phillies were in the same spot that the Red Sox are in right now last year. The Braves, the year they won the World Series, they were hovering around 500, and then they got hot and ended up winning the World Series. And then there was like 3 teams in the last 5 years that were in the same spot the Red Sox are at right now, that had these certain stats that they were really good at, and then they ended up putting it together and making a run and then being hot at the right time right into the playoffs. So it's very deceiving seeing them in last place, because they're a better team than a last place team, because they're in such a tough division.
Well, that's what
I've been saying.
I was going to say, I'm like, the difference is with all those teams that you rattled off, they didn't have this enormously difficult division, right? Like, this is like one of the best divisions in baseball. Like, when was the last time you saw the AL or any division look from top to bottom this stacked? You know what I mean? It's been forever. It really has. And it's insane how, difficult it's going to end up being for them to make the play, even though they're only 3.5 games out of the wild card, but still, yeah.
So there's a real good chance that 4 teams from the AL East are going to make the playoffs. So it's basically, they just have to get ahead of the Blue Jays or the Yankees, because, Orioles are playing pretty good right now, and Tampa is just off the charts. You're not catching them. But if you can finish ahead of New York or the Blue Jays, you have a chance of making the playoffs. And if you get hot at the right time, and Sale was pitching so well before he got hurt, and you figure you only need 3 pitchers, 3 starters in the playoffs. So if you get Bayo and Whitlock going, and you just add, if Paxton or Sale come back, and you just make the playoffs, then you can put on a good little run there.
I forgot about the big maple, James Paxton.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. That'd be nice to have him come back and pitch well.
He
By the way, how
too.
I don't even know what they gave him, but how badly do we miss Evaldi right now? Like, he's pitched so well for Texas. It's insane the season he's having for Texas.
So I was saying that Evaldi was the pitcher of the month for the American League in May, and Michael Walker was the pitcher of the month in the National League. Both guys we had and could have got for, not cheap, but not, you're not paying them $30 million a year each. Yeah, I think combined they're making $30 million a year.
Yeah. It's just nuts. It really is. It's wild to think about. And that's to your point, and I know how much you hate Bloom, but that's really where it comes back, right? It falls on Bloom. it just ends up falling on his shoulders because he's made these decisions. Now with Bayo and the kid's been lights out, and he's really stepped up, and I think he's taken the teachings of Martinez and really applied them this year, right? From the off season, and he's looked really, really good. He's super young, so he's going to have those games where he gives up, 4 runs over 4 1/3, or 5 runs, whatever it is. You know what I mean? He's going to have those struggles, but he's pitched so well. But then you look at the rest of the rotation, outside of Whitlock and those guys, but the other rotation guys, you could have easily, have even just one of them, like have, instead of Kluber, you had Evaldi or Waka, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus, like, come on, man. And Corey Kluber hasn't looked good in, 3 years. You know what I mean? This is to be the 3rd season that, since he won the Cy Young. I think it was like 2019 or 2020. I think he won the Cy Young, something like that. But yeah, it's
so everything goes right. Bayo should be pitching Tuesday when I'm at the game.
Oh, actually,
nice. I didn't check the seat, so I'm wondering if it might be against Evaldi.
Oh, they're playing Texas.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice. That's amazing. That would be.
But I was when I.
Oh no!
Like, Bayo's pitching tonight. I'm like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the 5th. Yeah, so let's see. Are the Rangers playing today? Rangers.
This isn't his first time back, right? Evaldi? Is this his first time back to Fenway?
Oh, they already played today. Yeah,
it will be.
Yeah, it's the first time.
I'll be interested to see what his what kind of response they're going to give him. For sure, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Well, if I could watch Tuesday, I'll be cheering them.
Freaking Nesson.
Yeah, so I guess the only streaming is that Fubu is the only thing they're on streaming other than their own.
Other than Nesson Plus, or whatever it is there, which is insane, which is ridiculous expensive.
I can't believe that anyone would pay $30 just for that single app.
Yeah,
to be able to watch. That's crazy.
It's $30 like for.
You can play.
Good. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like $30 a month for Nesson Plus, Nesson 360.
Right. Yeah, is it $30 a month? I thought it was more than that for some reason.
I thought it was 30, but you could probably get the Major League Baseball through the Major League Baseball app. It's probably less than that a month, and but you might be in a blackout zone.
Well, that's just it. I am. Yeah, I'm in a blackout for the local stuff. Yeah. To quote old people, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. Because I am an old person now. 43. So yeah, I feel old, feeling old. But all right, man. Well, hey, I think we can.
So the Odyssey app. Oh, the Odyssey app that has WE. When I was down in Virginia Beach, it wouldn't let me listen to it on that app. I had to actually play my. Oh, did I lose you?
I'm going in and out. I don't know what's happening right now. It's pretty amazing though.
Yeah. All right. I guess we should wrap it up.
I think we should wrap it up. I think that'll call it because I think we're running into some technical difficulties as we have for most of this, at least the start. Billy, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your vacation. I hope you really enjoy it, man. Well deserved, well earned, and I'm gonna kick mine off. After tomorrow, I'll be on vacation for a week, so I'm going to enjoy the shit out of that. Go Sox.
And
Enjoy your 4th of July.
Yeah.
Go America. Happy birthday, America, or whatever, however that works. All that stuff.
Yep.
Enjoy it. Thanks for joining
Yeah.
the show. Really
Yep. Happy
appreciate
birthday,
it.
America.
Like and subscribe. We love y'all. Thanks. Enjoy.